Welcome back, gamers. It is now the start of week 4 of the Nebula Summer Eevee League 2026, our very first set. And Hyde, we are already going into the gameplay here. These gamers are ready to go. We've got Rush Hour versus Adorable Wolves here. How you doing? What are our predictions? What are we thinking tonight?
I'm super excited. We have seen Adorable Wolves consistently come out as one of the top teams, coming in on their 3-0 victories for a lot of their matches. Now they're up against the #1 team. They kind of like sort out who's really king of the hill. So Rush Hour has been incredibly good as well. I love what they've been doing on the map, on the field. They've exerted a lot of pressure, great control. So it's the Adorable Wolves has it rough today because they got to go up against that and they got to make sure that they can counter it. If they're not able to shut down that early pressure game that Rush Hour is infamous for doing, they're not going to have a chance. So I'm really hoping Adorable Wolves is going to be able to do that.
We're gonna definitely hope to see something like that here. We do notice here both teams deciding to omit the Glaceon from their comps, favoring the Leafeon here, with Colin Tang going to be leading that on the side of Rush Hour. No real surprise there. Colin seems to really enjoy playing the Leafeon for their team. We are gonna see Vinny playing as the Leafeon for the side of Adorable Wolves.
Yeah, listen, Leafeon has been pivotal in almost every game in the Eevee League there. So, oh, shoot. Hyde is on production tonight, and we forgot to alter camp settings. But Rush Hour is going to be your purple team. Adorable Wolves going to be your orange team. And in 4 weeks old fashion, we got Eevees everywhere. Eevees on the top, Eevees in the bottom, Eevees in the central. And we're going for a classic split jungle on the side of Adorable Wolves.
Yes, we are indeed down this bot lane. Coolager trying to go ahead and get some scores in for some stacks there. 6 points in for the side of Rush Hour already here. Adorable Wolves is going to want to be really careful to not let them snowball at all here. Sylveon for the side of Adorable Wolves is going to be running that Mystical Fire moveset. We see that a little bit less often here, but the engage is going ahead and starting here. Vinny being forced on back to pad here. But Colin Tang follows up. They're able to get the KO on the enemy teams. Leafeon there, and I Will Not Carry is heading on back to tier 1.
They took down Goat, and yeah, that might have been the way. Listen, if they really are Adorable Wolves' Goat, that's the person to target. But Carrie is already going in. Asha's doing a great job with countering that pressure with great use of the Hyper Voice. Swablu's Altaria is now spawning on the field. Goat is already going for them. Huge hit there. Gets the last hits. I don't think a single bit of it went to Rush Hour.
No, and both teams were pretty low there. They were just trying to out-secure each other at that point here. We're trying to get the Espeon online. That is going to be super important for them here. Coolager has just been able to score as well. But Adorable Wolves isn't that far off at this point. It is just kind of scary because Rush Hour is scaling with their stacks that they're getting on this Vaporeon right now.
It's interesting that Carrie has decided to go with Mystical Fire again. We've seen so many uses of Hyper Voice and how effective it can be, and they just got absolutely obliterated. Hyper Voice coming out, screaming them down, sending them home, and just letting them know who's the king of the jungle. Yeah!
Yeah, Hyper Voice is still super powerful. It is still basically buffed from the point that it was at pre this nerf. I mean, they just took a little bit of that buff away. It's a little bit more balanced now, but it's definitely still super powerful here. So it is kind of surprising to see that Mystical Fire moveset be ran here. But Colin Tang is going in. The Sylveon for the side of Adorable Wolves is down, and that is a pivotal member there. Both teams are looking like they might be going for the Regidrago here. We do have the Espeon online for Adorable Wolves, so that will be helpful as well. But Rush Hour is really spread out and really has a lot of great map control right now.
They do. They're already starting to control on the Regidrago there, but down in the basement, it's 3v2. Adorable Wolves with the lead, but Vinny comes down with a mean muddy water and is able to lock down JC, sending them back. Now we got Carrie also take it down. Control of the bottom lane has now pivoted. Vinny goes in for another cheeky score, trying to get closer and closer to that level 8. We do have Jade doing a great job. Eliza Jade there, looking for an opportunity to get a last hit, and they do get that secure against Vinny.
Yeah, if you do look at the all of the damage for the side of Rush Hour there, they are all outscaling Adorable Wolves damage by 3 levels at least on their side. So this is going to be really hard for Adorable Wolves to play into. As we get closer to the midpoint of this game here, any sort of contention for any of these objectives is going to be really tough. And here we go, Hyde.
Yep, that is a classic combo right there. Going for the Psychic Solaire into a Razor Leaf boosted auto combo from Colin Tang. That is an infamous staple combo coming up from Rush Hour. That is deadly, and it's kind of what you do. You want to see the setup. You want to see the collapse, the unison coming in. And Adorable Wolves is unfortunately feeling the effects of that unison on the scoreboard. 25 points to 225, a 200-point deficit.
Yep, 37 over up that top tier 1. Regieleki is looking ripe for picking here. Cooliger getting some nice vision for their team, seeing if we can potentially go for this and push this in. Kind of bold move there, though, with all of Adorable Wolves in that central path. But we've got Regieleki heading on down that top lane here. So Rush Hour is really putting on a really big show here, showing why they're at the top of our bracket right now. Here they come, and it looks like we're kind of just poking at each other. Don't seem to be super committed to this push.
We let Reginald Lecknold hit. They do have a few points in the pocket to further the lead. Moonlight Prince comes out. Already JC's gone as well as Carrie. 2 more pots there, and it's now going to be pancakes in a dream. But the pad is quickly being shattered. We do not want to see it go, but 31 over 20 for the 11-point over. That they didn't care about the overdunk. They just wanted to get that pad gone. Adorable Wolves now has home invaders in their central path. We're seeing Moonlight Princes. We are seeing Colin Tang come out with another Emerald 2-step. They're able to get away from JC, but Cooliger is now on the receiving end. They're looking for another wish, waiting out that cooldown. Carrie is right onto them, but in doing so, they leave pancakes. Astra goes in for the hyper voice to take them down.
Yeah, unfortunately that targeting just was not super ideal for Adorable Wolves there. I mean, the Sylveon chasing the Umbreon is kind of a fool's game, if you will, because while that was happening, Rush Hour was able to take advantage and knock out all of the rest of Adorable Wolves there. Rush Hour's Sylveon actually sitting at level 13 at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, normally it's Colin Tang taking all of the experience for themselves, but Asha said, no. This time, I'm the hero. I'm going to be getting all that experience for myself. And they've been doing a really good job. They take another Registeel for themselves in that basement there, but Vinigo already going up top, 36 points. Carrie looking for another one as Regieleki hits the board now. They gotta rip it. They gotta take it. They can't just waste time putting on the scoreboard because this is a win condition going straight to the home pad, and Asha and the rest of Rush Hour are not far behind.
No, they are looking for it here. The Regieleki does end up going to Adorable Wolves, but Asha comes in with that hyper voice. Right behind it is Colin Tang with the Emerald 2-step 2 KO streak there. The Razor Leaf coming out on the JC for the 4 KOs on Adorable Wolves right before Groudon spawns on the map. Actually, it's Kyogre, just kidding. Whichever big monster it is, I said the wrong one. Oh my gosh.
Once again, Colin Tang off laning, putting scores in, just small bits, but that's how they get their Unite move back so quickly. Small farms, small scores, just small little bits to charge it. Sorry, that wasn't Colin Tang. That was the Adorable Wolves. That was Vinigoat. They were able to do that, but Colin Tang is also, they're infamous for that. So 19 points tried to go in. Asha able to block it in as we're able to get the Muddy Water. Now we're throwing scores on the board, but it's 439 as we give the home pad to Rush Hour.
Yeah, both teams are ready here. We all have our Unite moves with the exception of Colin Tang. Colin Tang and the Umbreon from the side of Adorable Wolves here. We are going to see what we can do. JC with the mean look there. Vinny being forced to pull out that ult early here. Kyogre isn't even on the board. Fairy Frolic comes out from Asha there, and Moonlight Prance as well. That is all of Adorable Wolves, and Kyogre is just there and just ready to be taken by Rush Hour.
I mean, that is kind of what is expected. We've seen these plays before happen in the early game. We saw the Psychic Solaire. We didn't see the eject play, but they went in for the eject anyways, got everybody from Adorable Wolves locked up because they were grouped together, and then they just went in for the burst. Because they had the burst. Colin Tang had already used everything, went off to score, but the rest of Rush Hour was ready to pounce. And there we go. For the MVPs, it's going to be the Sylveon crew.
Yeah, so the Sylveons are getting it today. Asha with the 103k, with the exception of 2 minutes being taken away of damage that could have been dealt on that Hyper Voice, like really showing just how much damage can be put out still with that Hyper Voice moveset here. Bubbles with a nice 85k to follow that up for damage on Rush Hour's side as well here. It really is just Rush Hour is just able to snowball. I'm gonna move us back over to our beautiful faces. Welcome back, gamers. We're gonna be able to get the lobby set up, see if gamers might want to change anything. Kyogre, I think, was an interesting choice against Rush Hour. Honestly, like, I feel like what a lot of these teams could probably do is, like, if you have a chance to catch anyone out at the final objective fight, like, honestly, securing Rayquaza against Rush Hour might be just the move. Or, I mean, Groudon, because you have the opportunity to fight back at the end if they do capture it. But it is definitely an uphill battle. Rush Hour has not dropped a single game throughout this league. They are very experienced. They've played together for a very long time. And you can definitely see it in their plays, especially in that last game. So we'll see if they might want to do something different. We'll see if they might change up and add Glaceon to the board, or if we're just going to keep things kind of the same.
Now we are going to see a bit of a swap up here. It is going to be Johnny Noms coming in for Bubbles. Bubbles not going to be in here tonight. It's going to be Johnny Noms taking the place for the next game. So be ready for that. Teams are now readied up, and let's get this game on the show. Let's see which Eevees are going to get left behind, because I think it's going to be the Glaceon again, even though I strongly believe it with the Umbreon is the counter to this devastating Leafeon that's on the side of Rush Hour.
Yeah, if you're just able to get some of that front line down there and actually get to some of those attackers on the side of Rush Hour, then maybe you can do something there, but it's looking like we're sticking with a lot of the same right now. So we'll see what we do. But I believe we did have a map switch here over to the Groudon. And that was Adorable Wolves' choice, so we'll see what they can do with that next objective here, Hyde.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, like they're still leaving the Glaceon behind. I think that might be the pivot that they need to make. Who they leave behind instead of it, I don't know, because all 6 Eevees, there's a logical reason to bring all of them here. You need both Umbreon and you need Umbreon and Vaporeon, because they are your healers. They need to provide that healing for you. And I think that's also going to be strong here. I think, if anything, maybe Adorable Wolves leaves behind their own Leafeon to bring in the Glaceon, try to lock it down, because they got to get something on the table here. And it going in with the same Pokemon and the same strategy may not work this time, but I am excited to see how they're going to adjust.
Yeah, we're gonna see in just a minute here as we go into game 2. Rush Hour, once again, our purple team. Adorable Wolves, once again, our orange. It looks like we've got Umbreon, Espeon hitting down this bot lane for Rush Hour here. Vaporeon and Espeon running down for Adorable Wolves on that orange side there. And looks like they're doing split jungle once again.
They are indeed going to be a Sylveon, Leafeon going straight in there. Coolager going to be also trying to get those early stacks straight away. White Carry also doing the same thing. Johnny Noms coming in as well. You got to be careful with this Espeon Eevee app, because exactly that, you whittle it down, it's like, growl! Yes, I scared it so bad, I secured it.
Indeed, here 17 to 21 here. We've just got an evolution down that bot lane as well. It looks like Rush Hour has their EVs fully online down there, and Colin Tang also taking down an Eevee up this top lane and is looking for 2 more. Pancakes is looking pretty low, and so is Vinny, having to head on back into their Flux Zone, grab a berry, and try to just reset before these 850 birds spawn in on that map there. But we're 22 to 22 right now.
Oh, we got 24 in. Where Vinny wanted to make a liar of you. Exactly what they did, but Goat's going to get taken down in a very crucial KO shortly after those birds were taken and gone. JC still looking for an Eevee at 8 minutes 36. So that is something they got to be able to pivot from. But now we just hit the 30-second timer for Reggie Drago.
We do indeed. 24 to 48. Vaporeon and Espeon are trying to just get any farm that they can right now, but Johnny Noms and Vinny are looking at some of this farm in this central lane for Adorable Wolves. Pancakes does not want to let them have it at all, but Vinny is strong, and this Vaporeon just stands there. They just stood there, Hyde.
What was Vinny gonna do? Vinny tried to use camouflage and it didn't work. It worked the first time. That's something we're gonna have to take a look. And I wish we had replays for, because it did work. They were sitting on the home pad. Adorable Wolf just ignored them, and then they tried to do it again. They're like, "Hey, please, Vinny, go. You're my fan. Please." Didn't work.
Oh.
The begging did not. The pleading was like, "Nah, bro, we can't do it again." But Carrie's already back. Coolidge locked in a mean block. Already knows the futility of trying to move anywhere else. But you know what? They don't exactly want to go anywhere. Look at Vinny. They're getting healed up. They got the Aqua Ring. They got a wish come true there. Reggie Drago's now going to be taken down for the side of Rush Hour, going to Asha, who's already moving to the top lane to go toe-to-toe with Pancakes.
Yeah, we're getting kind of silly. We're kind of spinning around a little bit around each other. It looks like we might be poking at each other down this bot lane here. Nice Psyshock on that Vaporeon there from Rush Hour. Vinny trying to get this 9 in, and does, in spite of 3 members of Adorable Wolves. I mean, that Psyshock there just being able to stun for so long. Rush Hour not fully committed to that tier 1 push, though. We are looking at this Regieleki.
Regieleki's hit the board now, and Adorable Wolves is going to be taking pick control over it. They say this is what we want. That's going to let Colin Tang come in and just kind of take those buffs there, the red and blue buffs that gives them so much experience. They're going to come in from behind. They got Unite in the pocket.
Oh.
Huge Unite! 1, 2, 3, 4. Psychic Solaire for Eliza Jade's going to allow the Regieleki to connect. 124 to 136, but the 4 KO streak connects and allows them to clap back with their own scores. Are they going for the even break? Nah, Vinny says, I don't even want to score, bro.
No, Vinny does not care about that. We want to get a nice over cap down there. We are not looking at the perfect cap. Up this top lane here, Vinny might be in a little bit of trouble here as those 4 points go in. He's like, hey, I'm your fan over here. Like, don't come at me. But Colin Tang showing no mercy there, and Razor leafing them back to the center.
I mean, when your name is Vinigo, you're literally only praising 1 of 5 members of Rush Hour. And then when you get ganged up by other 4, you stand no hope there. Yeah, like, that's just like, why aren't you Johnny Noms GOAT? Why aren't you Colin Tang GOAT? Why aren't you Asha GOAT? Why Vinny? Why Vinny getting all this love? And Vinny's just like,
Vinny seems to be a fan favorite for sure. Cooliger knocking out that Sylveon here, but looking pretty low there. JC does end up getting the final hit there, but Rush Hour positioned really nicely around this map here. They've got good vision. They know this tier 2 push is approaching here. Colin Tang at 12 for their levels already. That Psychic Solaire from Johnny Noms goes ahead and takes out the Leafeon for Adorable Wolves, and JC is in trouble as well as Cooliger comes in with that mean look, and Colin Tang is able to finish them off.
They are indeed. Now we're going to be seeing that Leafeon come back in. Vinny GOAT now coming back. We're going to see Asha in the top lane all alone. Regieleki, though, going to be playing for the side of Rush Hour, barreling down towards this T2 pad. And look how many points we got. We got 14, 50, 23, plus the 20 from Regieleki itself. That is going to be massive, massive coming in there. except we don't even connect with that. We could have broke the pad. We had another Regilecki coming, but we decided, no, we can't let Adorable Wolves get too many more points. It's 300 to 209. There goes the Emerald Two Step. 2 down for Rush Hour. Adorable Wolves in favor. Asha falls next. Colin Tank coming in, sees I will not carry and says, you know what? No, bro, I'm going for Vinny. Could have been a Tango, but it's a Vinny Goat, and Vinny Goat gotta go. Now Reggie Ice is gonna play from Adorable Wolves as we're gonna be narrowing down the score, and now we're 5 seconds away from Reggie Drago.
Adorable Wolves, very passionate here. Oh my gosh, was that the Moonlight Prance coming out here? Psychic Solaire from Johnny Noms, grabbing some of Adorable Wolves, but they're able to pull away, with the exception of that Vaporeon there. Colin Tang did end up going down. Johnny Noms looking to try to get this final hit on JC. JC's super low here, just trying to run. Show some mercy, Johnny Noms. No, we do not. They are caught in that mean look, and JC is still up. This Espeon is taking tons of damage from this Umbreon.
It is an Umbreon, and it did have some pretty good advantage down if Asha didn't come to save the day. I think JC wins that fight. They're surprisingly tanky, but now Adorable Wolves taking a leaf out of Rush Hour. They're going for their invade of their own, doing much better game number 2. 249 to 309, keeping the scores much more even.
Yeah, I know this is definitely looking a lot more promising for them as we are heading towards this end fight here. Both teams are just going at each other. Colin Tang coming in here. This Vaporeon is not looking too good here. Mean look on Coolager, and Coolager is down. This might be game-changing.
It might be, but that carry is going to go down as well. Sorry, Pancake's going to go down as well. So they got a 1-for-1 on there. But Pancakes was a higher level, so that is more lucrative. And I was just a Regilecki, and it's only 14 seconds left. We are going to see Carrie try to go for it, maybe start hitting it a little bit, trying to like tease him in to be like, hey, you know what? Adorable Wolves is here. No, they're not. They're actually getting pit position as Groudon has spawned, so the game is on. Moonlight Prance is already out. Now they're countering it with JC. Little HP coming up from Carrie as they're able to keep it up. Now goes the Aqua Ring to keep them up. Colin Tang backing off, looking for an opportunity to loop around, maybe get some HP back, maybe go for a score, maybe jump JC, trying to find something to block the retreat of Adorable Wolves.
Yeah, Adorable Wolves is definitely doing pretty well in this end fight here. They were able to reset away from Rush Hour, but Vinny's coming in. They are looking for each other right now. We're trying to see for an opening for this end fight, and here it looks like we're starting it here. The hyper voices are coming out from these Sylveons. Vaporeon is looking low, but we just pull on back into Adorable Wolves central path there.
Colin Tang now securing a very hefty lead. That means they need to score more than 100 now with the 54. We do have huge. We baited out, managed to bait out, but there goes our own Psychic Solaire, catching only Asha. Barry Frolic comes in, and now 1, 2, 3, 4 down. It's Eliza Jade in a dream, and the dream is crushed. Dreams do not come true unless you're a Rush Hour. And Groudon is like, wait, is it actually my turn now? No!
Groudon is just gonna have to play for Rush Hour as Claydol gets his stray KO there on that Espeon here. Asha looking at that top tier 2 right now. Rush Hour with the Groudon buff, 501 to 249. This game is all but wrapped here unless Vinny can go and score 200 points all of a sudden. And there it is. Colin Tang takes them down, takes that Groudon buff back for the side of Rush Hour, and it is just about over, Hyde.
It is. That's going to be 2-0 for the side of Rush Hour, putting them in match point. But Adorable Wolves, they came back. They showed their fangs. They were ready to go. And honestly, I think they might be able to take this to a Game 4 scenario and possibly, in their favor, hopefully, to a Game 5. They need to win this. They need to get some wins on the board because if they drop the next game, it's going to be Rush Hour taking it. But my goodness, what a performance. Much different team compared to game number 1.
And you can see here as we go through the stats, 12 KOs on Colin Tang there, 71k on that Leafeon, 115 on Johnny Noms, and Asha with the 75k as well. Their tanks were dealing doing a lot of healing as well. I will not carry definitely did heal, though, with that 106k heals on the side of Adorable Wolves. Pancake's also pulling a nice 76k as well on that Sylveon.
You take Vinny, you take Coolager, you combine their numbers, it ain't gonna come. It's gonna come close, but it's still less than what Carry will do. Carry carried on the heels, so that's amazing. But yeah, look at the damage, nicely spread out between Colin and Asha. But then Johnny Noms comes in and says, "I was hungry, and you guys brought pancakes."
That is true. They did bring pancakes, and Rush Hour was hungry. They really did a great job this second game. I think that Adorable Wolves, they found some really great momentum near that end fight and at the end fight as well. Rush Hour was just able to get one too many KOs on them at that end fight. The Psychic Solaire was not enough to keep Rush Hour from advancing on them and knocking them out. So it'll be interesting to see what they do next. Do we stay with the Groudon? Do we go for something different? It's gonna be interesting, Hyde.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, it wasn't the pivot that I expected, but they did make a pivot. They had I Will Not Carry on that Sylveon initially. They took them off, put them on the Vaporeon, threw pancakes onto it, and then they pivoted from a Mystical Fire into a Hyper Voice build. So not only did they change the players, but they changed the moveset as well. And I think more significantly was the moveset change, because that is what really set the difference. So we had Mystical Fire. Sure, it's great for hunting down single targets, but EVs like to group. That's why Rush Hour has been able to execute so well. They get the Psychic Solaire into a group, and then they burst it, whether it's a Fairy Frolic, a Moonlight Prance, an Emerald Two-Step, whether it's just basic moves like Razor Leaf or Muddy Water, or they teach CC Chain, or they throw in some Hyper Voices. They throw down as much as they can once they're locked into the Psychic Solaire. They did it not once, but twice. And we did see Adorable Wolves try to emulate the same strategy to a much lesser degree, because they weren't able to catch all of them, but the ones they did catch really felt it.
And this game is going to be a deciding factor for a lot of things. It will determine if Rush Hour is going to be going through this league with just a completely clean record, or if Adorable Wolves is going to be taking that away from them, and this last game will determine it. If they're going to go, because this is our last week of actual gameplay. Teams will have a break for a little bit, and then they're going to be getting ready for our tournament. And remind me of the date on that, Hyde.
Tournament is going to be not next week, but the week after, August 16th. Well, maybe not the week. Yeah, it is the week after. August 16th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch it here on Meowie's channel. It's also going to be on Hyde's channel. We're going to be doing all of that stream sharing chat stuff. We're going to be coming your way with all sorts of Eevee League nonsense. 9 teams battling it out for $250 for Pokemon Center gift cards. So, if you want to win that, if you want to see who's going to come out on top, who's going to have some gift cards going into Worlds, absolutely check it out, because that is what's going to happen. But both teams are ready, Meowie, so let's get it on.
Yep, we are heading on into our Game 3 situation here. If Rush Hour takes this, they will be taking this set completely clean here. Looks like Johnny Nose might be hovering on that Glaceon here. Coolager goes ahead and takes that and confirms we are locking in the Glaceon for both sides here. We are changing it up, and it looks like Rush Hour might be looking at dropping one of their defenders entirely.
We dropped Vaporeon here for the Glaceon, and then we dropped the Umbreon for the Glaceon on Adorable Wolves. So we dropped a tank each. Hopefully these tanks will make the difference, but these Glaceons here are going to be hopefully making the difference, because they can lock down certain key targets such as Vinigo or Colin Tang. So that's kind of what you're looking for. There are also tank shredders now, with each team only now having one tank. That could be devastating, because Pokemon's only going to be able to take so much.
It it definitely will be interesting to see what they're able to do with this. This game is going to determine, is Umbreon better? Vaporeon going to be better into this comp here? We're going to see. But yeah, I don't know if this changes some of their strategy a little bit. I mean, it obviously definitely will. But are we going to be splitting up that jungle between two now and leaving our lanes entrusted with 2 attackers on both sides? Because we've got 4 attackers and a defender here. It is looking a lot like some of my ranked games.
Listen, attackers into the lane, defenders into the central path. That's the only way to do it with a comp like this. That's the best way. You got to get those Umbreons and those Vaporeons first. How else do you get those Sylveons? How else do you get those Leafeons? How else do you get those Glaceons and those Espeons and what other Eons you got? But Vinny doing a classic Vinny move, going for that 6-point stack, trying to steal it, but Carrie says no.
Oh, no, they are trying to get them away from that pad here. Looks like we just have Leafeon over on the side of Rush Hour. Pancakes did split that up with Vinny Goat there on the side of Adorable Wolves, but we've already got Glaceon on the board here. With Glaceon on the field, that this is going to force the teams to kind of slow down a little bit, as Glaceon isn't really that powerful until it hits that level 6 mark and gets its complete move set there. But already a knockout from Colin Tang up this top lane on Adorable Wolves tier 1.
Now we got 5 seconds till 850. Swablu's and Altaria spawn, and now we have all of our Eevees online, and now we're ready to go for the action. We're going to see Pancakes go in with a hyper voice there. We're going to see Vinigo go in deep, trying to take down Coolager. Coolager's going to get muddy watered up. Massive hyper voice coming in, playing right to the tick of the damage where it does the most. Able to get away. They're not going Icicle Spear. They're going Freeze Dry. They're going right in that, and that's massive damage. Pancakes is gone. But so is Adorable Wolves. They took off. They said, all right, we got to go. But boom, Colin Tang came down and took down Eliza.
Yep, 58 to 32. We're at about the 8-minute mark here. Pancakes is heading on back down. This Flux Zone down to tier 1 here. Vinny poking on into this central path, not really caring, seeing what's still up here. Can we get some vision? Can we spin around? He said, I'm your goat. I'm going to hang out in your jungle here and probably get knocked out for it.
He just wanted to hang, but unfortunately for him, the Leafeon was not there. He may be Vinny, and he may have a guy that's a Vinny goat, but yeah, that's not the rest of Adorable Wolves there. You know what? They get the 4-on-1 treatment again, just like Vinny did that one game, that one time that Vinny was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And was also got boomed. You know, remember that time, Vinny? Yeah, it wasn't so there. But Colin Tang goes to the Emerald 2-star, gets taken down, but takes 2 Adorable Wolves with them.
Yep, and JC is gone off the map here. Reggie Dorego is looking pretty low right now. That will be going to Rush Hour here. Umbreon and Sylveon getting some scores in up this top lane, and Rush Hour coming on down this bot lane as well, with Colin Tang looking pretty nasty up against 4-5 members of Adorable Wolves.
Coolager, almost a real character, 1 level away from getting that glacial stage and allowing them to get the Unite move. Regieleki going to be in the basement here, and that's where the Adorable Wolves is going to be fighting for. But what's up top? Well, we won't know until it's gone, but already Colin Tang is already moving into the bottom here to try to help keep the Regieleki away. This is an objective that they prioritize, but it's going to go to Adorable Wolves.
It's going to go to Adorable Wolves here. Regieleki is going to be playing on their side, heading up to this tier 1 here. Glacial Stage does come out from Adorable Wolves here, but so does the Moonlight Prance from Rush Hour. Adorable Wolves looking very, very low as they very enthusiastically come at that tier 1 down that bot lane. Glaceon getting a nice 3 KO streak with that Freeze Dry there. And Johnny Noms is looking kind of low, but, I mean, Coolager is a very high level here, and so are the rest of Rush Hour.
Adorable Wolves is doing a good job of trying to keep these fights there even, and what's making the difference right now is these Unite moves. I mean, we still don't have a Leafeon Unite. We still don't have a Vaporeon Unite. We just got our Espeon online. Like, we are lagging behind on these levels massively. Meanwhile, we've already seen several uses out of Colin Tang, Asha. We've already seen a huge Johnny Noms Unite move as well. So we're already seeing the devastating effects of that difference making. So hopefully Adorable Wolves, once they get online, once they start getting these Unite moves, they're going to be able to find some KOs, and they're going to be able to find some traction.
Yeah, we are heading up to this tier 2 here. That is 5 members of Rush Hour. The Emerald 2-step comes out from Vinigo, but it is not enough here. Scores are coming in. We're at 298 to 92. The Indeedis are coming out. Glacial Stage is down to try to get Rush Hour away, and Asha might end up going down, but the Fairy Frolic comes out, and they are able to heal up pretty much all the way.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Again, Adorable Wolf loves grouping up, and when you Fairy Frolic into a group like that, that just means more healing for yourself. Like, so that's what that came down to. Colin Tanker just gonna break it. They said, get it out of here. It may not be the Regilecki side, but let's just get it gone. Asha's already going for the cleanup there, but we're gonna be seeing Vinigo going up for as much as they can as well. This could be a massive KO, 2-level boost for that Leafeon.
That is massive for them. 347 to 92 here. That does even out their levels quite a bit more than they were. Rush Hour is still definitely leading with the 212s on their own side. But Adorable Wolves is looking at this top objective here. We've got a Regice, and we're going to see if Rush Hour really wants it that bad enough to try to come in and secure it. It's looking pretty low. The Hyper Voice comes in along with the Psychic Solaire as well from Johnny Noms, catching Adorable Wolves and knocking 4 of them down.
That is going to be a team wipe for Adorable Wolves. So as quickly as they got that Regice buff, they lost it just as quick. It is gone, deleted, but they did get the benefit of all of that experience. So the team-wide experience it provides, very useful for them, but 92 to 347, we need to get some KOs. Unfortunately, that Emerald 2-step into the mean look just wasn't it.
No, it was not here, and that's another KO for Rush Hour as well. And they've got a 6th team member with Regilecki as well. Interesting position from this Glaceon there, trying to go behind and catch Rush Hour out there. But Glaceon doesn't really flank super well here. Hyper Voice on this pad. Regilecki does end up going in. Johnny Noms is looking pretty low, and that Psyshock did land, so Eliza Jade is able to get a nice KO there.
Vinny's doing everything they can to get Vinny, and it's not going to work. Eliza does get able to get up there, come back and say, hey, Vinny, I'm here. But unfortunately, their KO target was just too far. Upside, though, nobody able to capitalize on the Regilecki. Adorable Wolf successfully defends that as another Drago hits the map.
Yep, another Drago is coming in here, 367 to 92. We've got about 50 seconds left here for these teams to try to contest each other and show each other what we can do. Vinigoat has a 50 in the pocket here, and we're looking to see if anyone is here, and we can maybe try to drop that up that top tier 1. But we're just going ahead and we're getting pit position here, but Colin Tang knows where they're at. This is risky. Asha coming in here. The huge Emerald 2-step comes out here. I will not carry. The Glaceon definitely dealing tons of damage on Asha here. They're pushed back into that flex zone here, and this 50 and this 20 are coming out from Adorable Wolves, and that was several members of Rush Hour, very low and also down.
But Johnny Noms comes back. It's the Psychic Solaire off and is able to take down not 1, but 2 members of Adorable Wolves. Vinigo, never mind, that's 3. Huge snipe into the bush, locked onto them like they knew where they were. Goes in for another. Adorable Wolves got the 2 KOs. They had the advantage. Unfortunately, not enough. Now they got 2 coming in here. They got JC coming in, trying to do what they can. They get locked into a mean look, and the desperation of trying to get pit advantage. Now I will not carry is going to come in as well. Blocks the Glacial Stage, and it's just feeding one after the other into the jaws of Rush Hour.
Yeah, and this is definitely not the position that you want to be in here. We've got a minute left. Rush Hour has the Groudon buff. That's a 3 KO streak for Coolager, and we are just heading on towards that home pad here. Not a care in the world. There's nothing to break here. 50, 50, 50 going in for Rush Hour. 733 to 124, and more points to come, Hyde.
124 to 830 second, 903 now. They have 55 seconds to make this comeback. They got to get over 800 points in the pocket in order to take the lead, and I don't see it happening, unfortunately. I think this game is going to be a 3-0 sweep in the favor of Rush Hour, but Adorable Wolves, they went down swinging.
They did indeed here. JC going down, Colin Tang going ahead and getting another 88 in, pushing this to 1,001, 1,029. Make a liar out of me, Rush Hour. 20 seconds left on the board, and this is all but done here. Glacial Stage coming out, knocking someone out on their home, not even their home pad, their home base, back where you heal and rejuvenate and all of that. Adorable Wolves with the surrender here, putting Rush Hour at that 3-0 mark. They will be heading into our single elimination tournament in 2 weeks with a perfect record.
They will be as the top team. They are likely to get the bye. We won't know until we get all of the results in, but yeah, I believe that's exactly how it's going to go. I think Rush Hour is going to get the bye into the second round, which means we are going to see every other team duke it out in the first round of the EV tournament. So we're excited to see that. And again, what a fantastic game. Vinny coming in with 77k heals. We got JC coming in with only 5k heals, but were they Aqua Ring there? No, they weren't. They were Hydro Pump. They were going in with some nice CC stuns as well. And we got some nice damage spread out between Pancakes, Carrie, and Jade.
Yeah, I mean, really not as much of a devastatingly high damage game as we've seen. With no hundo Ks from Rush Hour on that time. On that stat sheet there, 14 KOs from Colin Tang. I mean, Colin Tang is just devastating on that Leafeon. When these teams are doing their VOD review for the tournament, they're definitely gonna want to be looking at their patterns, like what they're doing. Colin Tang consistently going up that top lane before the 850 mark, always hitting that on time, and just ready to shred whoever is out. Even slightly out of position, there will cost you your bond. Like they are out of the game as soon as you step one paw out of place.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything from us for tonight. But what's in the future for Eevee League? Well, listen, our teams were on the ball this week. They already have all of our matches scheduled in. It's just playing them out. So when are they coming in? Well, let me tell you. Let me go take a look at my notes here. I just got to scroll up. Discord is a little bit there. But I got them all locked in right here. All right. Oh, hang on. Where are they? Oh my gosh.
We're looking at some Thursday matches. We've got a twofer that day.
Yes.
And
VIP
I think you've got it. Yeah.
VIP versus Forgotten HMs at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're hoping to get it. If it's a quick match, if it's a quick 3-0, we're definitely going to get it. But if it goes to a game 5, we might be missing the first couple of games. But Shadowhand versus CC Yellow at 9:20 Eastern. If we can't cover it, we will make sure we got somebody. We'll see whoever is streaming it on there from those teams, and away we go. But next up, we do have For Fun versus Theater Strike. That is going to be taking place Friday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It is a little bit later, but we are going to be covering it. So for more EV action, those are the dates, those are the times. And if you're not going to remember that, join the Discord, because we're going to have those set up as events. Come on in, join the Discord. That way there you won't even need to remember it. Or you could just write it down, either or.
Whatever works, but I think this is it from us. If you type !Nebula in the chat, you guys can join the Discord and keep track of all of the fun things that we are going to be doing. Mike will be running a Fortnite community night tomorrow, so that will be super fun if any gamers are interested in any of that. We've got a beautiful Piper sighting, and I think that is our blessing hide. We are going to be calling it and heading out, but I hope you gamers have a great rest of your night, and we will see you soon. We are going to be selecting our raid target and then getting on out of here. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.